Only one group dares to challenge this intergalactic threat, the Super Friends.
Hey guys, Rez the Collector here with another action figure review. Today we're looking at one of the coolest figures that I have picked up in quite a long time. It is the Capulo Designer Series Talon figure. An extremely cool figure. Out of the Capulo figures, there's 4 that have been released so far: Batman, Riddler, Nightwing, and Talon. Out of those 4, the only 2 I've picked up is Nightwing and Talon. And I'm glad I got the Nightwing, but I almost regret just not buying 2 Talons. Actually, they didn't have 2 Talons at the time. But Talon is an amazing figure. He is our army figure for DC. You can build, with Star Wars, the 6-inch figures. They've got the stormtroopers now that everybody's got to have, and that's what they're building off of, their armies. And I would love nothing more than to have an army of Talons. For one, just the sheer amount of stuff that this figure comes with. Look at what you can see there. And I didn't know this. I didn't realize this. I knew that he had 2 knives, and I knew he had his mask thing, which is kind of out of frame at the moment. We'll take a look at that, though, when we're looking at accessories. There's his mask. But every single one of those daggers going across the front of his chest comes out. Those 2 swords that you see crossed on his back, those come out. The knife you guys see in his hand, the mask, and then there's another knife in a sheath on his belt. All of those accessories come with this figure. And that just alone makes this figure amazing to come with that much stuff. But the sculpt on this guy is fantastic. And I will say I've had some quality control issues with mine, and I still love this figure. That tells you how cool this figure is. It really is. It's a really amazing figure. The quality control issues I've had with mine, as you can see here, he's got these knee pads conveniently in owl-shaped kind of pads here. This one actually popped off. Now, it was an easy fix. I just glued it right back on, not a problem. The other quality control issue with mine is his upper body is kind of loose. Not too bad. I mean, I can still get him into basically whatever kind of position I really want, but it's a pretty loose upper body. But really, I mean, just for what he is, I'm not even worried about that. Let's take a quick 360 of the figure. Let's get us back into focus here. Just get a quick 360. You can see here that amazing sculpt on the head, the amazing arms. I mean, the only thing that doesn't come out of this guy is these here on the wrist. These don't come out. But it's almost shocking when you consider all the rest of the stuff that comes out. All of these daggers come out. This here on the belt, that's his other dagger. That definitely comes out. These swords here on the back, they come out of the sheaths. I mean, I was so shocked. And I love this guard here, this wrist guard. That is just an amazing touch. He has an amazing sculpt. We've got some limitations on articulation, but for as awesome as this figure is, I am completely fine with that. So let's talk about articulation for a minute. He has absolutely no head articulation, and that is extremely odd for a figure. To have absolutely no head articulation, but in order to get the sculpt right, to get it to look as good as it does, to get it to look like he's wearing a hood, they had to do that. They had to take away that head articulation. He has no up, down, or side to side, absolutely nothing. That head is stationary. But with the good movement you do get out of the torso and the waist, I mean, you can still get him looking in whatever direction that you need him to look. And I am really not worried about that head. That is completely fine with me that is stationary. Now coming down, look at the emblem there. I know I said we're moving on to articulation, but I still can't get over the sculpt on these guys. Look at the emblem. Look at the sculpting on the knives and the belts. I mean, look how small that is, and just amazing job that was done on this figure. I mean, down to those knee pads, which are still awesome looking. very, very cool. All the armor lines on this guy. The sculptor did a just flat out amazing job. Alright, so back to articulation. He's got ball jointed shoulders. They go up, they go down. He's got a rotation at the bicep, and he's got a bend at the elbow. And then on top of that, he's got rotation in this wrist guard here, and rotation in the hand. So we've got a whole lot of movement in those arms, which is very cool considering the amount of weapons this guy has on him. That is very cool. You can get those arms and hands in a lot of positions to make it look like he's throwing all these weapons he's got. Those daggers are definitely throwing daggers. So definitely very cool that you can get this guy in a whole lot of positions. And again, just talking about the sculpt, look at the knuckle guards here on this hand and this hand. Just look at how great that's sculpted. Coming down, we've already discussed his ab crunch here, how it is a bit loose on mine. He also has a rotation at the waist, and again, here in the light, you can see really, really nicely those panel lines coming down. Of course, he does have ball jointed legs. They're going to go out not real far on him, at least on this side. On this side, the leg's kind of stuck, so I'm not messing with that right now. And of course, they're going to go up and down. And then, of course, we've got some rotation here at the thigh. You know, this light, I thought it was going to do me good, but I don't think it is. I think it's just kind of blinding. So, yeah, there, that's better. We've got rotation here at the thigh. Of course, again, those panel lines there. We've got a double-jointed knee, which is always great to have. Gotta love the double-jointed knee. And then we do have ankle rockers, but it's a rotation rocker as well. So that is awesome. So let's just take a look at some of his accessories. He does come, of course, with the white owl mask. Now, this doesn't fit over his face because of the way this mask is designed, but it would fit over a standard figure's face, and I generally just kind of have him holding the mask. And then again, we've discussed these chest blades. I mean, you can see that just comes right out, and that is just so great. There's so many other figures that you could put some of this stuff with. I mean, if you've got an army of these guys, you can take some of this stuff and you can give it to some other figures, like a Wonder Woman with some daggers, some throwing daggers. That would be very cool. Again, we've got this dagger here, and we've got its twin here in the sheath, and then we've got these very nice swords that come out. They are basically short swords, but extremely cool to have a figure come with this many accessories. And from this angle, I actually got it back in there. And of course, he does have a tight grip on his hand, so he can hold all of this stuff. Really, I mean, this is one guy I'm going to be looking for. Hopefully, like the rest of them, he'll come down in price a little bit. Even if it's just like $4 or $5 on Amazon, I'm definitely going to pick up more of these. I would love to have a Talon army just to be able to do some diorama type things, be able to do some action shots, some articulated comic book displays. It would be amazing, and I would be really happy doing that. Now, of course, there are other things that I have on my list to pick up, so those are going to come first. But if I ever do have some extra funds and there's a good price on these guys, definitely look for me being able to pick up more of them. And it's one I would highly recommend. I'm not a villain collector. Any of you guys who know me, or if you're new to the channel, I am not a villain collector. I don't like villains per se. I mean, there are certain ones that I definitely will pick up, such as Talon, such as like the Crime Syndicate, because they're evil versions of my favorite heroes. But I'm not a standard villain collector. I'm not going to be getting like you know, the Henchmen or your run-of-the-mill villains. I'm not going to be picking up your big guys. Your New 52 Darkseid, I got that guy. He's huge. I definitely going to be looking at getting the new Lex Luthor, because I am primarily a Superman collector, so that Lex Luthor, I'm still a little bit torn on it because I'm not a villain collector, but it is a Lex, it is a deluxe figure, he is big, and it would definitely look great in my collection, so most likely it's going to end up in the collection at some point. And that's about all I got for this guy. Of course, I've got a lot of reviews that are coming out. There's one going through edits right now, so I'll be looking for that one. Of course, this one. As you can see, as always, I've got the delicious Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper there in the background. It's good. Go get some. And pick up a Talon figure while you're out. Alright guys, this is Rez the Collector, or Tony as you may know me. Look for me on Facebook. Send me a friend request. I tend to share things on Facebook that you might not see on the channel. But of course, anything you see will eventually show on the channel in the form of a video, which you might get a little preview and some pictures and whatnot of something I've picked up that might not get a review filmed for a while just because life is hectic. And you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's life is busy and you got things going on. So send me a friend request on Facebook. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more reviews, or if you're just cool, just subscribe to the channel. Of course, and rate and comment. I do love to hear from everybody. I try to get back to all my comments. But again, life is hectic. I do read every single comment, so even though I might not get back to you, I am going to try, and I did read it, and I did enjoy it, unless you were like a serious douchebag and called me names or something. Then I probably didn't. But whatever. Rate, comment, subscribe, guys. I want to thank you for watching, and have a great day.